G'day guys, Alex the Sports Physio here. Now let's get into some exercises that you can do at home to help strengthen your glutes without much equipment. Now I know what you're thinking, Alex, this is a squat. We've all seen squats before. Well, we're adding the band in with this exercise, and the reason why is that when we stand with 2 feet and do squats, generally our glute medians don't work as hard. That's your outside glute muscle. Now we want it to because it's really important when we deal with things like hip pain and also knee pain as well. Make sure you're pushing out with your knees the entire way through the movement and that your knees are tracking outwards over your toes. Next up is the crab walk. Make sure that you're sitting in this little squat position as you're pushing out to the side. Now the leg that's on the ground doing the pushing will be the one that works the hardest, but because we've got our trusty band there, we're going to be working both sides. I would try to complete this exercise 2 sets to fatigue, to the left and to the right. To get some trunk work but some glute medians in, we can do some starfishes. Start by driving the bottom leg into the bed and splitting the top leg apart, but also make sure to keep your arm underneath your shoulder. So definitely my favourite exercise in this list to give to patients is the glute bridge, just because there's lots of variations that we can give. Now the key is to tuck or tilt your pelvis underneath you as seen just there. What this means is that you're sort of rotating your tailbone up to the ceiling first and also keeping your feet in close to your bottom, as this will make sure you use more glutes than hamstring. Now once again we can add some more glute med work through here by adding our bands. Now the key is to split the band apart, pushing the knees, maintaining the tension and the angle of your knees the entire time through the movement. By doing so will ensure that your glute med is working hard and that your glute max, by nature of the exercise, is getting a good workout as well. Of course we can just make this harder by adding more bands to increase the resistance of the glute muscle. From here, if we can go to a single leg glute bridge. Now the key is to once again make sure you tilt up first before you drive up, as because it's harder, people will tend to use their back muscles when doing this. So make sure you tilt all the way up first. Now the single leg glute bridge is hard enough by itself, but it only works the one side. By adding the band in the middle and pushing the knees out like we did with the double leg, you're working both sides at the same time, because the leg that's in the air has to hold the hip position and push against the leg that's on the ground to try to break that band apart. You're also going to be getting good trunk workout, holding and pushing your leg apart at the same time. To start off with, 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps is a nice little starting rep scheme if you can. Now if you found the single leg glute bridge a little bit too challenging, we can make the difficulty of our normal glute bridge harder by just increasing the height that our legs are on, because this means you have to move your hips through greater range of motion, meaning that you have to work harder because you're using a greater range of motion. Of course we can then add the band back into the mix by doing this exercise, and operate similarly with 2 to 3 sets of 15 sort of reps. We can employ the same technique and add in the extra height with our single leg banded reps. So this is really challenging. Start off with 2 to 3 sets of 5 reps. So for the last exercise, I thought I'd throw a little bit of a challenge in there. So a single leg squat by itself from a high bench or seat height is obviously difficult enough, but adding in this band means you're going to be working the glutes even harder, but especially the leg that's in the air is going to be getting a bit of a workout as well. Start with 3 sets of 5 reps and see how you go with this one.